We're all talking about what AI can do, but today we're going to go under the hood and look at the real engine of this whole revolution, the silicon itself.
While we've all been blown away by this software, the real drama isn't happening on the screen. It's happening in the hardware. There's a full-on silicon arms race going on right now, a battle to build the custom brains that are going to power our future.
And this isn't just about making faster chips. Not at all. It's about designing chips for a very specific purpose. Chips that are, and I mean this literally, being built to think. Okay, so it all starts with a simple but absolutely crucial fact. When it comes to powering artificial intelligence, not all computer chips are created equal. Not even close. To really get your head around the hardware that powers AI, just think of it like a toolbox. I mean, you wouldn't use a hammer to drive a screw, right? And in the world of computing, you've got to have the right tool for the right job.
So first, you've got the CPU, the central processing unit. Think of it as the head chef in a crazy busy kitchen. It's amazing at juggling a ton of complex tasks, taking orders, managing the staff, making sure everything runs smoothly. But it's just not designed to chop 1,000 onions all at once.
For that kind of job, you need the GPU, or graphics processing unit. Yeah, these were originally for video games. GPUs are like a massive assembly line, perfectly built for doing thousands of simple, repetitive calculations all at the same time. This massive parallelism is exactly what made them the undisputed king of AI model training. So Google saw this trend and they took it a step further and created the TPU. If the GPU is an assembly line, the TPU is like a hyper-specialized robot designed for one thing and one thing only, the incredibly complex calculations that are the bedrock of modern AI. And finally, we've got the NPU, or Neural Processing Unit. This one is a super efficient, low-power chip designed specifically to run AI on the devices we carry around in our pockets, all without totally draining the battery in an hour. So the key takeaway here is specialization. It's everything. From the all-purpose CPU in a huge data center to the super efficient NPU in your phone, each chip has its own turf. And mastering that specialization, well, that's where things get really, really interesting. This whole drive for specialization is leading to a massive shift in the tech industry. The biggest players, they're not content with just buying chips off the shelf anymore. They're designing their own. And Meta's story is a perfect example of why this is all happening. So why would a software giant like Meta get into the brutally difficult hardware game? Well, the answer really comes down to one single massive number. 44%. That's how much Meta cut its costs by building its own custom chip, called MTIA, for its recommendation algorithms. But listen, this isn't just about saving money. It's about taking complete control of their own technological destiny. And this right here is the blueprint for that efficiency. You're looking at the architecture of Meta's custom chip. All those little squares are individual processing engines arranged in a grid that's designed to work in perfect harmony with Meta's own software. That's a level of optimization you are just not going to get with off-the-shelf parts. And the pace of development here is just staggering. In just one generation of their chip, from version 1 to version 2, Meta's team tripled the performance. That is a huge, huge leap in a very short amount of time. But here's the thing. Designing a chip is one challenge. Actually making it work at a massive scale is a whole other story. You run into all sorts of messy, real-world problems, from mysterious memory errors to tiny bugs in the silicon, stuff you would just never, ever see in a lab. Now, Meta's journey is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. And when you zoom out, you start to see a trend that is almost hard to believe. We've all heard that story of the penny that doubles in value every day, right? And it quickly becomes millions. Well, that same explosive, exponential growth is happening right now in the world of computing. For decades, this progress was pretty predictable. It was defined by Moore's Law, which basically said that the number of transistors on a chip would double about every 2 years. It was a steady march forward, making all our devices consistently faster and cheaper. But in the age of AI, Moore's Law has been left in the dust. I mean, companies like NVIDIA have achieved a 1,000-fold increase in AI computing power in just 8 years. That curve has gone vertical. That's not evolution, people. That's a revolution. So, with all this incredible specialization and this explosive, exponential growth, what does the future of computing actually look like? The key insight is that there won't be one chip to rule them all. Instead, the future is a hybrid ecosystem. Think of it like a carefully orchestrated symphony, where CPUs, GPUs, and custom accelerators all work together, each playing to its own unique strengths. So while the software grabs all the headlines, the real battle for the future of AI is being fought in silicon. The companies that win this invisible arms race won't just build the next great app, they're going to build the future itself. The only question is, who will it be?